Hi guys, hi Year Sevens. I'm so sorry. I'm having a few technical issues today. I tried to do this as a live lesson, but I couldn't get the link to work. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to film it and then I will post it. Do not worry if you don't get to do this today. Just try and do it as soon as you can, and then you can upload your answers for me whenever you can. So we're going to be working on these worksheets today. I will upload them onto, if you don't have your booklets, so I will upload them to show my homework as well as soon as I upload this video, and you'll be able to finish these videos, these worksheets as you view the video. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to be doing some food science investigations. And we are going to be looking today specifically at yeast and what it needs to grow. So the first thing that I want you to do is when you have your worksheet in front of you, I want you to have a look at the very first paragraph and the first box, and the first box says hypothesis, which is our prediction. Draw how big you think the balloons will get for each sample. Challenge, describe what you think will happen. So what I have done, and on your worksheet, you are going to do your prediction and you are going to write your little prediction as well. So I have set up an experiment here, and I have got 7 experiments which correspond to the 7 bottles on your sheet. Each bottle has a number and it has a balloon as well as some ingredients on the inside, and we're going to go through what the ingredients are for each one in a moment. But we've got 7 of them. We have got a control, and we are going through why each one is different. So I have just set this experiment up, so we are literally, you're joining me just as the investigation is starting, and you will be able to fill out the observations on the bottom half of the sheet with the experiment at 10 minutes. So our first experiment, first bottle, number 1, has got just sugar, but it's got no water in it, and it has a balloon on top. Our second experiment has got some water, but the water is cold. It's got some yeast in it, and it's got some sugar in it, and it has a balloon on top as well. Our third investigation has got boiling water from the kettle, some yeast, some sugar, and a balloon on top. Our control has got, sorry, I'm just going to move the camera. Our control has got warm water, sugar, and a balloon on top, and yeast. And then our fourth bottle has got warm water, salt, and a balloon on top with some yeast. Our fifth bottle has got just warm water and yeast and a balloon on top. And our last bottle has got warm water, flour, and a balloon on top. Sorry about the cables in the background. Right, okay, so I'm going to try and focus on sort of a few of the bottles. All right, now before we start the investigation, well, before you start trying to fill out the worksheet, what I would like you to do, the first thing I would like you to do is I would like you to write what you think will happen. Pause the video here, give yourself 5 minutes to think about what the experiment or the investigation is looking at. If you have a look at the bottles, what they've got inside them, and what we have on the top of each investigation, what do you think we are going to be looking for, and what do you think is going to be happening? Is anything going to be happening? Why have we got balloons on the top? You have a think about that and write down what you think. On your worksheet, you will see not only do you have to write a little written explanation, you also have to draw what you think the balloons are going to be doing at each stage. What do you think will happen? Okay, so now we're going to move. Once we've thought about what it is that we think is going to happen, we are going to move on to the 10-minute observation, and you're going to write what you see. So in number 1, please write if anything is happening in the balloon or in the bottle. Number 2, we can see that there are a few things happening. First of all, what do you notice at the top? What do you notice at the bottom? And what do you notice with the color of the water? And if we have a look at the balloon, has anything happened here? Write down your observations as we go. Number 3, which is the bottle with the boiling water, has anything happened after 10 minutes? So if you have a look, what's happened at the bottom over here, look at the color of the water, and then is there anything happening in the balloon? I'll show you the top because it does look a bit different. Third, we are going to look at our control. Fourth, sorry. And again, when we have a look at this bottle, we can see that there is something happening at the bottom. Have a look at the color of the water. Have a look at what's happening on top here. And then let's have a look at the balloon. And at the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything happening with the balloon either. Number 4. 4 is the warm water and salt. And if we have a look, can we see what's happening at the top here? Have a look at the color of the water and have a look at what's happening at the bottom over here. Right, and can we see if anything is happening to the balloon? Number 5. Right, have a look at what's happening in the bottom. Number 5 has just got yeast and warm water. Have a look at what's happening here. Can you see, I don't know if you can see that traveling down the bottom. Oh, can you see that traveling down the bottle? Right, and it's moving down the bottle. That is actually some of the flour at the top that is actually reacting with the yeast and the water, and we're going to explain what it's doing in a little while. We've got something happening at the top here, and let's have a look at the balloon. Have we got anything happening there? And then lastly, we are going to be looking at number 6, which is the warm water and flour. Right, we've got quite a significant amount of flour at the bottom. Have a look at the color of the water. What's happening over here? What do you think is happening over here? And have a look right at the top. And what do you think is happening here? Has anything happened? Right, so write down those observations in your 10-minute column over here, and we will come back and do the rest. Right, okay, just to finish off this first section of the investigation, I'm going to go through with you what you should have and the kinds of things that you should have on your 10-minute observations. Okay, so in bottle number 1, all right, we have no liquid, we have no moisture. So nothing's happening in this bottle, all right? All we have is the yeast and the sugar, and it's inert at the bottom. It can't actually do anything. So there's nothing happening after the first 10 minutes, and there's nothing happening with the balloon. In the second bottle, we have got cold water and sugar. We can observe the color of the water has changed. There are a few bubbles on the top of the bottle, and there is some sediment at the bottom of the bottle. Nothing has happened in the balloon yet. Nothing has happened in the balloon yet. Okay, right, in the third one, okay, this one is our boiling water, and we can see that in actual fact the balloon is being sucked into the bottle. So if one of you can tell me why that balloon is being sucked into that bottle, that would be fantastic. It is boiling water here in this one. And we can see that there is absolutely nothing happening on the top over here. There is no bubbles on the top or foamy substance. The color of the water has changed, and we have quite a bit of sediment at the bottom of the bottle. In our control, we can see that we have some foam at the top of the bottle. The color of the water has changed, and we can actually see, I hope you can see, I can see it on when I'm looking at it, right? You can see some little suspended particles, and they're actually moving. I'm just going to give you some time to have a look at that. Right, so we've got some sediment at the bottom, we've got some particles that are suspended in the water, and we've got a little bit of foam on the top. At the moment, we haven't seen any significant work here, anything significant happening to the balloon. In number 4, right, which is the warm water and salt, we can see that there was some foam that formed on the top. Not a lot, but there is some foam that's formed on the top. We can't see any particles in the water, and we can see quite a bit of sediment at the bottom, but there is nothing in the water as such. We can't see any little particles. We can see a few particles moving here. Right, we look at the balloon. Nothing, well, there's a little bit, but very, very little. Actually, no, there isn't. Okay, anything in the balloon. Right, number 5, if we have a look at the bottle again, right, no, number 5 has got warm water and yeast, and that is it. So what have we got in here? We can see some foam on the top on the surface. We can't see any suspended particles, and we can see some sediment at the bottom of the bottle. And if we have a look at the balloon, it doesn't look like anything's happened in the balloon yet either. And then our last one is number 6, and we'll have a look and see what we can see in that one. So this is our 10-minute observation, guys. Right, so number 6 is warm water and flour. We can see a little bit of foam on the top. We can see the water has changed color, and we can see it's the flour and the yeast mixture at the bottom. Can we see anything happening in the balloon yet? There is a little bit happening in the balloon. Alright, so guys, please have a look at your worksheets and start filling out your 10 minutes, and I will come back after 30 minutes and I will show you what's happened to the investigation.